All right, we're here live with Heather Bell from way back in season 3 in Maine. So, hi, Heather.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing well, thanks. Why don't we just
Amazing.
start by you saying a little bit about yourself?
Of course, I'm Heather Bell, and I was season three back up in Durham about a decade ago. And I am a middle school science teacher, so I'm used to the chaos, chaos coordinator, they may call me. And right now I'm in between houses. So unfortunately, I would rather be doing puzzles and watching all the videos, but I'm doing my own obstacle courses with drywall and avoiding power tools. So that's what's happening. I closed in the house in 3 days. I can't wait to see everybody, but that's me.
Okay, well, season three. Let's
Yes.
throw it back. How did you originally hear about Survival Challenge, and what were your initial thoughts when you were cast? Like,
Yeah,
what?
wild times. We had, my kids were young, they were 11 and 8, and we were watching Survivor as a whole family. And I heard about this meet and greet up in Maine. I said, okay, let's, bring the girls up there. And I roll up and this is Bob's farmhouse, and he's having this barbecue, and there's like Richard Hatch and Sandra and just like a whole sea just as a like an awesome group of just hanging out casual. And actually, Sandra was the one who convinced me and the girls to come back the next day, watch this incredible survival challenge, and I was hooked. I immediately that night just said I had to do this next year. What a great group of people doing amazing things, and I could not wait to do it.
Any stories you can remember from the time leading up to you participating or when you first got your feet on the field that stick out for you?
Yeah, a couple things. I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in the woods for a couple days. I'm not going to be able to eat. So I remember going to a big steakhouse and having this massive steak before, and like a snake just ate it, hoping, and it carried me through. Like, I hope I don't have to run very much the first night. And then I remember you saying, we had our blindfolds on. We were just sitting there for a while on the little stumps. And you said blindfolds off. And we just looked at each other and got on the paddle boats. And the sheer electrical just pulse of adrenaline was immediate and did not stop until months after we were back home.
All right. Well, do you have any favorite challenges from your season? Anything that you can remember, and any that you're hoping to see?
I think for me personally, my season was with a lot of the professional survivors. So playing with them was really interesting. There were massive boats that we had to build and go in this pond. And, playing with Dr. Jill, who was one of my legends and didn't know she was going to be playing, and kind of squaring off in one of the challenges with her. But I think personally was just overcoming. I have some working memory challenges. So doing a memory challenge and rocking it really was incredible. And just knowing, I think overall, just feeling how capable I was and surprising myself every day. I made every single team. So I somehow, okay, made it this challenge and this challenge and this challenge, all the way through all the teams onto the jury against some really pretty incredible competitors. So I was just really overall proud with the physical, mental, social game.
Yeah, that was kind of a good lead into the next question about your
Yeah.
takeaways. So that's obviously part of it. Anything else, connections you made or other things post game that have stuck with you in the 10 years since?
100%. I think being alone by myself in the woods, just understanding how capable I was, which sounds silly, but has kept me through some really hard times, and cannot thank that experience enough for just that self-development, awareness of you could do hard things, and just the survival team, all the people, the volunteers, the group, everybody. You guys are just the most incredible, genuine people, and it's great to be part of that community.
So now let's jump ahead to 2025. We are a few months out.
Yeah.
Now, give us a small thought process in your brain. What are your thoughts as we get closer to this unfinished business? Just a little taste of what's going on in your head.
Um, without letting my strategy out, I think genuinely I'm very excited to play with a lot of people. I never have played with anybody, even Jeff Wu, who's from my season. We never were in the same tribe. So meeting and playing with lots of new people. And yeah, I don't think they probably know much about me. We were up in Maine and a little under the radar. So we'll leave it at that.
So if you had to describe in one word, and you don't have to give any explanation, how you're going to play this season, what's that one word? And you don't have to give any description afterwards.
Persistent.
All right, I love it. John, back to you.
Yeah, any particular challenges that were favorites of yours that you hope may return, or maybe something you've seen on Survivor and you said, wow, I want to play that one day?
Don't want to
I
return.
mean, that's incredible. There's so many, and the people that come up with the puzzles are next level. You never know what surprises you'll probably have for this year. So I genuinely like team playing, team building, multi-step, multi-dimensional versus sort of a quick hit. I love fire building, so I'm hoping that's going to be in there. But anything that's multi-step, multi-directional, a little bit of mental, a little bit of physical, that's my game.
I love that.
Hey, we're here with Jeff Wu from season 3 of DWSC, and joined as always by my co-hosts tonight, Taylor and Isaiah from our live stream and other teams from the production side. How you doing tonight, Jeff? Why don't you say a word or two about yourself and we'll hop into it.
Hello, hi. It's nice to meet you all. I'm very excited, a little nervous. I haven't done an interview like this in so long, so I'm just like, how do I do this? My name is Jeff Wu. Let's see, a little about me. I'm turning 29 in like a couple months. I live in Oakland, California. I work in tech, and in my free time, I like to talk about this a lot. I'm a dancer, and I also cook a ton.
All right, I love that. Well, Jeff, very nice to meet you. Let's take it back a few years and go back to 2015, season 3. So how did you originally hear about Survival Challenge, and what were your initial thoughts that said, yeah, I want to do that?
Okay, well, 2015 feels like forever ago. I'm like, can I even remember what happened that long? But I was a freshman in college. I would just finish my freshman year in college, and so I was in this era of having no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I felt like I was just floating around in space, figuring it all out. And I am a very big fan of Survivor, and so I think that summer while I was working on my internship, I was like just passing the time and typed up like how to do Survivor in real life. And I saw that this thing was a thing, and I was really interested in trying it, and so I applied. I was accepted, and then next thing I knew, I was like, "Oh, damn! I'm flying out to Maine to do this thing." And I was like so unsure about it because I also had this internship, I had this job that I was doing, and I was like, "Should I? What do I do?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm impulsive. I'm just gonna do it anyways." And so I just like left my internship a few weeks early and just flew out to Maine and had a really great time, and it was amazing.
Awesome. Well, during season 3, are there any funny or interesting stories of things that happened leading up to your initial like presence and your introduction into the world of DWSC?
I feel like I don't know, it's not funny. I think I just was really nervous and like very insecure about this because I was 19 at the time and I had pretty much no life experience. I had done very, very little, and I was like, oh God, like how am I going to connect with anyone? I feel like whenever I watch Survivor, they're always talking about like, oh, like you got to vote out the people with no life experience because like what do they have to offer to the table? So I was like, I'm screwed. Like I'm not going to last out here at all. And so I also then like I had this weird fixation on the idea that like being a fan of Survivor was like a negative and I was gonna get eliminated for it. And so I was like, well, I can't tell anyone that. And so I like came into it with this like really dumb lie that like all my friends and I like decided to apply for this, but I'm not even a fan of the show. They all were super fans and we did it as a joke together, and I was the only one to get on, which first of all makes like no sense at all because like why would I do that? And then second of all, I mean everyone's a fan who's doing this, and so it doesn't make any sense, and I don't know why I did that. And it didn't end up impacting the game at all. And so it was like kind of a waste of a lie, but you know, like I guess that it was a fun experience to like try to think through that in the moment.
Well, you kind of gave us a little bit, but paint more of a scene for us. You just got to SC. Like, what was going through your mind when you stepped out into whatever field, ground, dirt, forest you were, and what were your thoughts?
So I remember being terrified. They blindfolded us pretty early on, and I remember we were like sitting on these stumps for I don't even know how long it was. I want to say it was maybe an hour, but maybe I just sitting there blindfolded, the time just goes by, and you're just like, oh, it's an hour, it's 2 hours, who knows how long it is. But we were sitting there, and every single thought is like racing through my head. I'm like, oh, like, am I like, what am I doing right now? Is anyone else looking at me? I'm like, you could kind of feel something like someone near you was fidgeting. I'd be like, is this code? Like, are they trying to work with me? Like, should I start like fidgeting back? And I was like, just so scared of just like doing the wrong thing that I feel like I just like sat there in complete like frozen silence, doing nothing. And then eventually they told us to take off our blindfolds and basically like divided two groups and jump onto these rafts and start paddling across this lake with these like long sticks. And I remember just like, okay, that's when the adrenaline kicks in. This is when I just like want to do a good job. I want to be a team player. And so I just remember just like paddling away, just like trying my best, like, sharing stories on this raft with everyone, really enjoying the experience. And I feel like just after that, things just started to snowball and the experience began, and it was great.
Well, obviously, at season 3 was about to be 10 years ago. So if you can remember anything, what are some of your favorite memories from your season? And in particular, do you have any favorite challenges that you remember?
So on my season, I feel like I did so bad in so many challenges. Uh, I got injured kind of quickly on during one of the reward challenges. I fell during one of the challenges where like you're running around carrying weights and bags and trying to tag the other team. And I was carrying a lot of weight for the team because a bunch of people on our team had dropped out. And I fell and like hurt my arm, and it wasn't like a super severe injury, but it definitely affected my confidence throughout the rest of the season because I just remember being so in my head about like I'm useless, like I can't do anything, like I'm gonna get voted out for this. And our team lost a lot of challenges. Like we lost back to back to back to back challenges because we were playing against this favorites tribe that just like destroyed us, and it was so challenging. And I remember we're like in like one of the last challenges right before the merge, and I am like there are very few people left on our tribe, and I was like, oh my god, like it is do or die. And we're doing this challenge where you're like holding a paddle with like a platform on it, and there's a ball, and you're like walking through an obstacle course while trying not to let the ball fall down. And I was like, I feel, especially because of like my arm, I think we just switch arms at some point, and like I was like very shaky with the paddle, and I remember dropping a bunch of times, and I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, like this is it, like I'm going home. And then like all the adrenaline's kicking in. I feel like that's when you like really zone in. And then I was able to get through the course, and I remember like almost sobbing in tears. I was just like, this is the best moment of my entire life. Like I actually did something right, thank god. And so that was definitely one of my favorite moments of the whole season for sure.
Wow. Well, speaking of challenges, are there any particular challenges that you want to see or tackle when you jump in a few months?
Can I just say all of them? Like, I know that's kind of a
Sure.
cop out, but just like, as I mentioned, like I got injured pretty early on. And so I felt like even though I wasn't medically pulled because I could still do challenges, I was just so like stressed out about hurting my arm more that I remember just like not being able to give it my all in the challenges. And that's definitely one of my favorite parts of Survivor in general. And so I'm just so excited to like jump into every single challenge. I feel like one of my dreams the first time around was like, God, I want to win an individual immunity challenge. Did not do that, did not achieve it. So I was like, we'll try our best to like give that a shot this time. But yeah, no, I'm just excited for all of them.
Awesome. So during, or sorry, after your season, I should say, were there any takeaways after participating in DWSC? Like anything that you learned about yourself, any connections that you made that you might still have now, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing I took away from it was like really starting to believe in myself a lot more. I think just like at that early age of 19, like you're underbaked. Like you haven't formed all of your like core beliefs, your core values, who you are. And I think I also just spent so much time growing up being like the different person because where I grew up, I was like the only Asian person around. I also was like deeply in the closet at the time. And so I think I just spent like a lot of time just feeling like, oh, like I'm not good enough. Like no one's gonna like me. I'm just so different from everyone else. This is gonna be so challenging. And I don't know, just like being out there, I think I was like so worried about being judged. And then like I think I realized through the experience, like none of that mattered. Like you just gotta do your best and people are great. And I think now I've learned so much about just believing in myself, like pushing through and never giving up no matter what. And I think it's really like given me a lot of confidence in my day-to-day life to pursue my goals and my passions nowadays. Like I'm happily living with my partner in Oakland. We just moved in together actually, so that's been really great. I've been able to just like have so many really cool life experiences along the way in these past 10 years. I feel like I've just like grown up so much in that time. I think like, and I've just like learned about who I am, like what I like to do. Like I think back then, I don't know, this was 10 years ago. I was so clumsy, still clumsy today, but I like learned how to dance sometime after I did like the survival challenge, and then became like so deeply invested in dance that it became like one of the core parts of my life. Like I still dance very frequently today. I'm on a competition team in Oakland. I used to teach dance classes to students in San Francisco for multiple years. And it was just like, it's like a big passion of mine. It's really helped me grow my both body awareness and confidence in myself too. And yeah, I think a lot of this like really derives from like learning to take risks from survival challenge.
Love that. That's amazing. All right, well, let's jump ahead 10 years now that we've talked a lot about 2015. We are maybe a little over 2 months away. I don't know time, but what are your thoughts as you get closer to SC and finish?
You know, like a lot. It's been 10 years almost. I feel like as I said, I'm like a different person now. And I'm like, you know, sometimes that little bit of insecurity comes. I'm like, oh, is this new person? Are people gonna like this new person? Are they gonna find me fun to be around? Who knows? But yeah, I think like coming back feels a little bit like this like renewal or like rebirth of just like being authentically myself, hopefully being not as nervous and just like really just like enjoying the experience, getting to know more people, getting to experience a lot of things that I feel like I wasn't able to fully focus on because I was in my head, do some cool challenges, have some fun. Yeah, no, I'm just like, I'm so excited about it. So yeah, that's about it.
I love that. We have one bonus question. Isaiah, take it
Okay.
away.
Bonus question for you. So give us one word without any explanation, one word to describe how you're going to go about this game and how you think you're going to play this game.
Uh, let's see. One word. Okay. Enthusiastically.